Well, welcome to everybody, all family, and what a beautiful day. Beautiful day in a beautiful place. I'm glad we're all here for the marriage of Teresa and David. And before we start, I'd like to ask Jim if he would ask for God's blessing on Teresa and David's lives.
Let's pray. Father, what a wonderful, beautiful day you've given to us to celebrate Teresa and David's holy matrimony and marriage. We thank you so very much for the precious gift you gave of her to us, and now we give her over to David. Pray that you would be with him as the head of the house, that he would be a spiritual leader from the house, and that they would build their home on the firm foundation of your word. Pray that you be with us to this day, that we'd have an enjoyable time and just celebrate together in this wonderful occasion, this wonderful ceremony that you gave to us. This we pray in thy dear Son's name.
Amen. Thanks, Jim. Well, I'd like to do a little charge to the couple, is what it's called. So here's my charge. So 1 year ago, today?
Today.
1 year ago today, you had a blind date. And if I'm correct here, Angie set up the blind date, probably told you lots of good things, really just to sell you to do the blind date. And beautiful things happened. And now here you are a year later, standing here to get married today. It's a beautiful thing. You're going to be pledging your lives to one another. And in a few minutes, you'll be exchanging your vows that you've written. And those vows are very important because they're promises to each other for life. And they're unlike other statements. Statements like, hey, I'll be there in about 5 minutes. And then you're there in 2 hours. It's not like those statements. These are very, very important vows and pledges for life. And they're really sacred and special in every part of your life, like your spiritual life, your emotional well-being, your mental strength, and your physical health. But before you exchange your vows, I'd like to really share a few reasons why I think your marriage is going to be very, very strong. And I think it's because of the shared traits you have. You both have amazing gifts in different areas, but there's a number of things I think you share, a number of traits. So here's a few of them that I think will make your marriage very, very strong. You both have adventurous spirits. You love to travel the world. You go places and you're not afraid. You're adventurous. You both have you're both multifaceted in your interest. You like different things. You read, you study, you look at things and enjoy your surroundings. You both think outside the box. I'm thinking tiny house is kind of out of the box. And I will just say this, just a few days ago, Joel had a suggestion that we do the wedding and that David and Teresa stand that far apart because that's how close they're going to be in their living room. But we decided not to do that. And I was amazed too, speaking of thinking outside the box, that it was Teresa's idea, the tiny house, and which is a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing, thinking outside the box. You're both successful in your professions, IT and nursing, and you care about the people you work with and work for, and you do a very, very good job, and you share that success. You're both independent people. You're able to take care of yourselves, but you're able to come together and be independent and mutually dependent on each other. You both possess a great sense of humor, and you both laugh easily and often, which is a wonderful, wonderful trait. Lots of stories and laughter. You're both good communicators. You both speak well. You're both open to new ideas, trying new things, going new places. You're both accepting of others. I think that's very, very evident from going to different cultures and seeing different people. And the people that you have around you, you're just very accepting, and you bring people and you attract people. And you both care for those in need. And I've known David a lot longer, but just your whole life you had just a big heart and cared about people, and I know you do, Teresa, taking care of people in very difficult situations and really caring for their needs. Those are a few of the traits that I think you share, and I want to encourage you to improve on those strengths in your marriage. And I think if you do, you'll have a very, very strong marriage. I have a few verses I want to read. It's Matthew 22, 36 through 40. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second one is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. And I think your wedding is a really good place to remind you of these two great commandments. Loving God and loving your neighbor. Your pledge to marry is a similar relationship that Jesus has with the church. And as we know, he gave up everything for the church, as you will give up all that you need for your spouse. The second commandment calls you to love your neighbors, and I'm going to suggest to you that there's no closer neighbor than your spouse, and that I hope you each love each other as you love yourself, because you are the closest neighbors you'll ever have. And I think if you remember these two commandments, that your marriage will flourish. You've prepared vows, I take it? Would you like to exchange those? Except yes. Teresa's first. Teresa, if you'd like to make your pledges to David and then give him the gift of the ring when you're finished.
Okay. I can't promise you that dark clouds will never hover over our lives, or that the future will bring many rainbows. I can't promise you that tomorrow will be perfect, or that life will be easy. I can promise you my everlasting devotion, my loyalty, my respect, and my unconditional love for a lifetime. I can promise you that I'll always be there for you, to listen to you and to hold your hand. And I'll always do my best to make you happy and to make you feel loved. I can promise you that I'll see you through any crisis, even when the Lions lose the Super Bowl again. I'll promise you I'll pray with you, I'll dream with you, build our tiny house with you, and I'll always cheer you on. I promise that I'll be your favorite travel partner. The world will be our backyard. I'll be your friend, your family, your everything. I promise you. You tied this on tight.
I tried to do it really loose.
And David, if you have your vows and a ring for Teresa.
I do. I can't promise you that dark clouds will never hover over our lives, or the future will bring us many blue skies. I can't promise you that tomorrow I will be perfect, that tomorrow will be perfect, or that life will be easy. I can promise you my everlasting devotion, my loyalty, my respect, my unconditional love for a lifetime. I can promise you that I will always be there for you, to listen to you, to hold your hand, and often to embarrass you in public. I will always do my best to make you happy, to make you feel loved. I can promise you that I'll see you through any crisis, to pray with you, dream with you, and build you any size house you want. I promise you that as your best friend, your family, your everything, I will never cease to stop exploring with you. I promise you.
Beautiful. Well, since you have made your vows before God and your family, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Woohoo!
All right, I have a haiku blessing. God bless your lives with adventures, wonder, laughter, happiness, and joy. May I present to you Mr. and Mrs. David and Teresa Crawford.
And nobody move! Selfie. Everyone get in. Everyone get in. Scott, get in.
All right.
All right, on the count of three, everyone cheer. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
You better do a double
All
take.
right.
Goofy this time.
No.
Smile.
I think I photobombed that one.
There was that glare that came.
I know.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hey, son.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah, you don't make room